and roll. You good? Your headphones good, Gracie?
Oh, yeah. I'm hearing lots of delay.
Sweet. Hopefully that doesn't mess you up. It would mess me up if I was wearing headphones, but I'm not because I'm a wild card.
Oh,
We're
no.
here. We're here in the studio of Gracie Lineham for what is going to be a very awesome interview. Gracie, I have to censor myself. Sorry. I'm so hyped that you have just put out your first single, In the Night.
Oh, thank you.
I've been hearing your compositions for a long time now, and it's about time, Gracie.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming.
You are a phenomenal composer, and I can't wait to hear your next single out.
Thank you.
This Valentine's Day.
Oh, boy. Let's see if I can get it out on time.
You will. What's the second song? Because I'm sure I know the song.
Oh, well, I guess it was going to be the title track for the album that I'm doing.
Love Mind?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Just figured it was a good day to, like, drop, like, a love song that...
Oh, yeah.
I just feel like it's the corniest day ever, but, like, the song is basically about, like, not necessarily being in love with someone, but about, like, thinking about love.
Like how you conceptualize, like, your needs?
Conceptualizing and also the way you love someone else.
Okay. And that's Love Mine coming out on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
But isn't the whole album about love?
Yeah, but each song has its own, like, interpretation of love, I guess.
Yeah. Which is, like, there are, like, a lot of different shades of love. Is it, like, are some of the songs, like, negative love and others are, like, positive? And, I mean, there's a lot of backstory.
I have, like, the entire, like, storyline of, like, just a love story, I guess. It's not necessarily, like, in order chronologically, but, like, the songs I put in a certain order that I really liked. But
yeah. So, but you're doing a song a month for the whole year.
Yeah, but
correct?
I'm not doing it in the order of the album. So the order in the album is supposed to be, like, really, like, in love with somebody. And then, like, towards the middle, it's like you're kind of contemplating whether you should be with them or not.
Okay.
And then towards the end of the album, it's kind of like saying goodbye.
Okay.
So, yeah. And then the last song is Better Day Ahead. Shout out to Julia Martinez.
Mm-hmm.
So that song is basically not even about love. It's about self-love or, like,
optimism and moving past
optimism,
pain.
Positivity. Yep. Because it's just like we're going to find a better day ahead. That's it.
Okay. I mean, we're probably going to do, like, another interview at some point later in the year or something. We can get into the meanings behind all these things, but I still want to talk about In the Night. Because I've been hearing that song for years. I've known about it. I've been waiting for it to come out. And here it is. What are you going to say?
Brad's a homie. Like,
day one.
Shout out to Brad Monkel, the person that has this podcast here.
Well, technically it's a radio show. It's not even a podcast.
It's a mini podcast on a radio show. Well, what's the name of your radio show?
Well, technically the radio show is just called Ear Candy, but I don't even really love that name.
So this is Ear Candy, hosted by Brad.
Yep,
Monkel.
WGXC 90.7 FM. My name is Brad Monkel. This is Ear Candy every second and fourth Thursday of the month from noon to 2 p.m. It's my spiel.
Woo, right before therapy. I go to therapy at 2 p.m. on Thursdays.
I gotta start going to therapy.
So that's probably the only reason I hadn't heard too many of your shows.
Oh, yeah,
I'm, like,
that makes sense.
Getting mentally prepared.
Well, it is also, like, the radio. Like, do you listen to the radio?
I have.
I don't listen to the radio, and I'm on the radio, Gracie. It's like,
okay,
it's such a weird
shout
thing.
out to radio.
Yeah, no, shout out to radio. I love it,
pioneer.
but it's weird. Right?
A pioneer for audio.
Like the radio as a concept, or
yes.
me? Okay, I thought you were calling me a pioneer.
The conception of the invention of radio and the multiple uses.
All right, Gracie, I need to get this back on the rails because...
So In the Night is my song that I just released on my birthday, January 28th.
But what is In the Night about, Gracie? Because I've been hearing it for so long. I know, like, when I hear it, some of the lyrics, but, like, what is... How did
Can
that
I, like,
song...
read the lyrics?
Well, yes.
So...
But if that's... But I also want to know, like, what got you to write it? What were you... Was the, like, thing you were reacting to? So whatever you want to tell me
I have a
first.
whole story, I guess.
Yeah, whatever you think is appropriate to kind of get across to me what In the Night means to you.
I think it was like around the time I was first ever getting into spirituality. I was just kind of like looking at the sun and the moon and like, I don't know if I was like 100% into astrology or whatever, but like, just like, even if you think about physics, like life is literally insane. Like it's like profound.
Well, I don't believe in like astrology as a mystics type of thing. I think it's literally like a mathematically, like that's how people when they're born a certain time of year will there's like correlations that go along with it. And
but you have to think about like the energy from each planet and how they affect a human being in the womb.
But part of it is just coincidence of when you're born. All right, Gracie.
All right, we're getting too deep.
Yeah, see, you and me are going to start butting heads if we go too deep into this. What does this have to do with
all right,
Gracie?
let me finish. So there's the sun and the moon. And basically, I kind of was seeing it from a lot of different perspectives. It was really just analyzing stuff and then like coming out with your own perspective of it. But it was definitely about a relationship where you idolize somebody, but then you're also doing them wrong. And you gotta like seek forgiveness, but it's kind of like back and forth, like the tides, where the moon kind of affects the tides, right?
Okay. Well, yeah, I could see how all this could be.
And it's just like your emotions could sometimes be like the tides in a relationship.
Okay. Well, you were thinking about all this like astronomy type stuff and and all that metaphorical stuff, like specifically while you were in a situation, or did you kind of apply that later to a situation you were in when you were
frankly I can't remember. It's been like 4 or 5 years, 6 years
that's very
since
fair.
I wrote the song. So yeah, it's been a long time since I wrote the song, but I know what it means to me now.
Okay. Did you have like a specific, like, so you don't remember like every detail, but do you have like was there like a thing that set off you writing it?
Oh, yeah, there was definitely like this ensemble at the College of St. Rose when I was getting my bachelor's degree. And like, basically it was called like songwriter development or artist development.
Yeah.
Artist development. So I was in artist development with a couple other songwriters, and basically I had to write a song. That was one of the ensembles. And then the second ensemble was artist development ensemble. So I had to bring a good song for this band to play with me. So this was one of the songs I made musically. And like my songwriting teacher at the time, Andrew Lee, was just like, you got to write lyrics. Because like my whole life, I've just been writing music. Like I could sing la 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 la, but still not be saying anything and not be expressing myself through words. So it was almost like this constant going back to my lessons and my teacher saying, oh, where are the lyrics? Like, I like the way it sounds, but like, you got that down. So why are you only going to focus on what you're good at?
But are lyrics tough for you? Like
they were, yeah. Oh. I came to college without really writing lyrics. Oh,
okay. See, I wouldn't have thought that. I would have figured you'd been writing lyrics all along. I mean, I have questions kind of related to that, like time before college and what you're like how you got to where you are artistically. But just to like wrap up with like the stuff specifically about In the Night. So I mean, you like fleshed it out for this ensemble.
Yeah, at the time it was just kind of like I knew the chords, I knew the melody, and I was just like, all right. And I made this chart because that was one of the assignments, is making a chart for the band. And then, like, I put it together in time for this band to play with me, and I thought it was all right. But, like, that's only one semester of your life. So then, like, going forward, trying to develop the song into what I wanted it to be didn't really start until I was working on my senior project. But I had all these songs written, so I was able to focus on the engineering that whole semester, like, focus on the arranging.
You're talking about, like, literally how you recorded it now,
yeah,
right?
Like, who I chose to be on the record and, like, what mics I would use, like.
Oh yeah, well, but I guess what I was asking is more about like so that like you had a deadline, it was wrapped up in stuff you were doing for school, and like
but you have to finalize lyrics when you go into the studio and record.
So, were you finishing the lyrics up until just about the time you?
Yeah, I could spend like a couple years on some lyrics.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
I could spend
a lot
of years.
Yeah, but like when you first started writing the song, what like was there a?
I was sitting at this organ over here.
Was there a personal thing like? And or later on, was there a personal thing that affected? Like, you don't have to go super into detail if you don't like want. I'm just saying, like, is the song very close to you emotionally? Because
very emotional.
You've told me that when you write songs, it's usually in the middle of something emotional you're going through.
Exactly.
So that's just kind of what I expected for In the Night.
It is emotional to me. I have cried listening to it back, but only because I'm proud of myself because of how much I've been through. But I know I can do better and keep releasing better stuff. That's just the beginning. Like, this is literally the first song I've ever released, and I've been writing for like over 10 years, so it's like it's almost like I'm behind other people, at least in my head sometimes. So I feel like when I release this, it's like, okay, like, you can like that, but like I can't wait for what's next. And it's like I don't really care necessarily about one specific song if I'm always taking care of all of the songs. So I'm really trying to send more of a like bigger picture message about love, like that it's a story.
Well, I think your concept of the whole album is cool. Like, you think about this stuff way more like in depth than I ever can. Like, you like just the depth you go to like composing and putting together a project. Like, I'm not good at like compartmentalizing, conceptualizing all that stuff. And I think
you just gotta sit on it. You just gotta sit there and be with it.
Yeah, and I know it's a long process, but like, I don't know. I guess knowing that you've told me sometimes when you're writing it's so emotional, I wanted to get like a little more into that process. Like, when it comes to writing for you, do you ever write songs from a not emotional place and it still comes out the same way, or do you like require some sort of like charged up like mood to be in?
Whoo, that's a big question.
So yes. No.
When it comes to my music, like the one time I just sit, it's like going and hugging somebody. It's like going and hugging your mom. Like, you sit down at the piano and you finally play that song that feels like that matches the exact motion you're in right now. And it's something you created because only you can feel that way. Like, literally. You know what I mean?
Kind of. I might be a sociopath. I don't know. I always just feel funky.
Funky? Like you need a shower?
No. Why? Do I smell, Gracie? I'm trying to kick off these in-person interviews, and apparently I'm bombing.
Wait, you did them like virtually?
What? Oh, well, yeah, like the interview I did with Liam recently, Liam Davis, check out Make Me Cry, was my first in-person interview for the radio show. I do in-person stuff for my podcast, but this is my second in-person interview for this show. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's just like I said, it's hard for me to pin something down and be like, oh, this is what I'm going through right now. This is this is like the emotion I'm reaching for with the song. Because usually when I'm like upset, I don't feel like writing music.
No,
you know what I mean?
I'm not going to this song with the intention of writing. I'm going to this song to get a hug.
Oh, okay. So it's like I can resonate with that. Because sometimes if I'm having a bad day and I just sit down with my bass and I just like practice, I don't go right to composition usually. I'll just sit and play something. I'll be like improvise. And that to me, like in a it's not based in like words, but it's like a diary to me. Like
that's
like a
literally
release.
it.
Yeah. So I can definitely relate to that. I mean, has that always been the case for you? Like, even when you were just writing instrumental stuff and we were younger?
Yeah, like back when I was like 11 years old, I was just moving my fingers around and like what I heard would be matching the things that I felt. And it's like there were no words.
Okay.
You didn't need words because the sound would make you feel exactly the way I felt when I wrote it. Because I wouldn't keep playing something that doesn't match how I feel. So like it's like almost as if you can keep listening to other people's songs, but eventually you're like, I know exactly how I feel, and like only I can create that and hear that.
Yeah, I relate to that even more than the lyrical stuff, I would say. Just because...
So a lot of my focus is on the music. The lyric is just kind of the candy on top.
Okay.
In my opinion.
All right. Well, way to be nonchalant about it when you're sick at writing lyrics. But
Thank
okay,
you.
way to make me feel bad about my lyrics.
Well, it's
but
just...
well, I don't know. I like... Basically, when it comes to the writing, I think it's like... cool that you can get that across, and I think it's something I can reach, but I don't think I could ever I don't think I could as authentically produce stuff the way you do. So
that's
again,
unfair, to view yourself that way.
No, I'm not trying to limit myself, but it's like you're like a unique composition machine. That's all I'm saying. You're a great composer. It's sick.
Thank you.
I'm holding back from swearing. And like Liam is another great composer who I'm like blessed to know, and I don't mean I feel like I didn't talk this way, as much about him when I interviewed him, but it's like he's been putting stuff out, and he has a lot of depth as a composer, but I'm so hyped that you finally just are putting it out there. That's the main thing. I'm hyped to hear the full album. But we'll talk more about.
We got more stuff even singles. After that. It's just
you have a whole other
the way
album
I
recorded,
do things. Yeah, the process I have is just taking years of things. I don't know why it takes so long, but I think it's you gotta digest what you created.
That's true, but also there's so many other things that go into it besides the composition.
Yeah, I could be sitting down not intending to write something, but then I just start getting upset and I just start singing, or I just start speaking out loud. It's just it's just spilling out of you sometimes. You just gotta give yourself the space to do it, because lately it's I haven't been sitting down with my piano. But if you don't sit down, you're never gonna get to that point where you're spilling out new ideas.
Yeah, I'm certainly not sitting down with my piano enough.
So yeah, we all gotta sit down. We gotta sit down and feel our feelings instead of just dissociating. Sometimes you just gotta heal and address your feelings.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't even really know exactly what dissociation is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not super.
Okay, so I definitely identify with dissociating. If you've been through a lot of trauma, then sometimes you can't just really feel it all the time, because otherwise you're going to be crying at work. You're going to be crying in inappropriate places, or especially someone like me who has a panic disorder. So
is it
I have to adjust my
emotions
feelings
back so you don't panic? Have
you got to have an outlet for your feelings. You can't just hold them inside and ignore them.
But what is the dissociation? Is that putting off your feelings?
Disassociation, I guess I should say it from the other lens, is, let's say I'm feeling something and I'm just this hurts. I don't want this anymore. Sometimes I know someone who told me that sad music, they just couldn't listen to it because they already feel sad enough.
That's how I feel about Burger King commercials.
Wait. So you're already hungry enough?
Exactly. No, I'm sorry. Detract from your point.
I guess what I'm saying is I could have a mental breakdown, but if I don't have somewhere to put those mental breakdowns in a outlet that's positive, because I enjoy doing it.
You enjoy getting the emotions out? I
actively enjoy hearing the songs back and feeling progress within myself emotionally.
Yeah.
Because I've released those feelings into this song.
But when is it is dissociation when you're waiting to get
Let's say you don't sit down at the keyboard. I'm not saying it has anything to do with music. Dissociation, you're asking for me to define it.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, my cat keeps scratching at the back door because she wants to go outside. So I could either just let her rip my door to shreds for months on end and complain to my therapist about it every single week, or I could take action and actually make change.
So dissociation is when you're kind of like ignoring a problem?
You're continuing not to associate with the problem as if it's not there.
Okay. I feel like there's a lot of guys who are really good at that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, it's toxic masculinity, which like patriarchy hurts everybody. So
all right, if you're gonna keep throwing these terms out, I'm gonna keep asking you to define things.
Okay,
so
go
you better
ahead.
be careful.
Right,
No, I don't
right
want.
on.
I don't want to talk about toxic masculinity just yet.
Me either. No, I'm not saying in terms of like judging men. I'm saying in terms of this.
Well, just the
the
role it
sad
plays.
parts about it are that men can be very emotional, but they just can't express it the right way because of stereotypes or like ways that they've been like taught.
Oh yeah.
And it's like we shouldn't have been taught that way.
Oh yeah. For sure. I mean,
So,
I have
like
like I said, I need therapy too. That's all the.
But
some
like
of the
I
issues.
have a big hope for the future with like the new generation of kids, like empathy. It's like such a big thing.
Yeah.
But like
We're learning. We're getting there.
if you start empathy at a very young age, that will instill something within somebody.
Do you think empathy is like a sliding, like you can work on empathy, or do you think you're born with a certain amount of empathy?
Oh, that's a tough one.
We were getting way out there, and then I just had to throw us even further.
That
out.
one is
I'm
like
really empathetic, Gracie. Like it's
there's the nurture and there's the nature.
well, which is it?
So nature is what you're around and what you're experiencing and what's around you, what you see. And nurture is when someone continues to instill values in you directly. Like the words that your father might speak to you and like how that affects you as an adult.
Brad, put down the bass. Put down the brace and finish your burger. It's funny you're talking about the cat scratching, and there's literally someone outside snow shoveling. It probably sounds like someone's like a cat scratching.
I think I
for
need to
listeners.
shout out Baby Cat.
Yeah, that's Baby Cat is Gracie's cat, who I fostered for a while. So she's basically my daughter, also. And she's also in the house because we're recording this in Gracie's little home studio here.
Yeah, so
All right.
she was scratching at the door, and I would complain to my therapist about it every week, right after your radio show at 2 p.m. And my therapist eventually said, "Stop, swear word, talking about this, and fix the swear word problem."
You didn't hit my cat, did you? You didn't hit my dog.
No,
did
we
you?
got a window door for her. That spoiled little swear word.
Thank you for censoring yourself on my show. Not enough people do that.
I try.
Well, listen. Thank you for working things out with the cat. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
She's a bit of a diva. All right. We went way out there. I gotta reel this back in. I gotta reel this interview back in, Gracie. But it's cool.
Whatever we talk about is gonna be fun.
Duh. I didn't even have to prepare for this interview. I knew it was gonna be fine. I did not know we were gonna get all the way to.
Well, you asked me questions that no one ever asked me. You know.
That's what I'm trying to do. That's my job, Gracie. So you.
Shout out.
When did you? Who you want to shout out?
Brad Monkel.
Thank you. Shout out Gracie Lineham.
Shout out.
In the night. So how long have you been playing? Like when did you start playing? Was it keys first?
Yeah. Piano.
Piano lesson?
Mm-hmm.
Really young?
When I was 7,
I was gonna guess.
I was trying to learn how to read my brother's old piano books. You know how like you can slowly teach yourself to read if you actually read the entire page. Anyways, so I was teaching myself how to play a couple things with my brother's books.
Okay.
And then my mom noticed I was actually like picking it up. And like she's like, "You play the piano like every single day, like you're writing songs." Like I wasn't necessarily writing songs, but you just put your hands down and something happens. Yeah. So she got me lessons, and I started taking lessons. But the teacher I had at the time, shout out to Meg Ruby.
Nice.
She was very into improvising and doing stuff by ear, and just the way things sounded and the way they felt. So that was like the beginning of me starting piano. So it made me like feel good about it, you know.
Yeah.
And then she had to move to go teach somewhere else, and then I went to the Eastman Community School of Music.
I was gonna say you went to like an art school.
Yeah,
it was a music school.
Like it's like, you know, Eastman But I went to the community school, not like the college.
Yeah, it was so like you're what grade on? You had like
So
you were
I
at
went
a
in there
school that was
around
for
eighth-
music, right? Like
8th grade to senior year.
okay.
I was taking lessons from Tamari Gudovic.
That's it's either Korean or Polish, right?
I thought it was Russian or Ukrainian. I forget.
Colin, what's his name?
She was very
what's her name?
disciplined with her teaching, and she taught me these scales and like the way you would play them. You play them slow.
That's right.
You go da, da,
My favorite tempo.
da, and then you would double it. Da, 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 da.
And she
And then
was from
you would do triplets.
Czechoslovakia.
Da, 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 da. And then da, 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 da.
Brazil?
But if you did it at a faster speed, like da 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 da, then it'd be da 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 da, and then da 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 da, and then da 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 da. Why did I even bother to do that?
Well, the listeners are not playing piano right now. I'm gonna.
They're
be honest.
not even like hearing a key because I have this echo in my ears with the.
Yeah, it probably sounds.
I decided to
FFU.
put these headphones on.
Yeah, I'm not wearing headphones, but you are, so this probably sounds.
I just
totally
wanted to feel
different
like
to
I
you.
was at a radio show. That's all.
Yeah.
I just wanted to feel like authentic.
I feel like I'm there. Okay. So you
Reeling it in.
were at. That's my job. I'm professional.
It's my jam.
You were at school for music. Were you? Does that?
And then I went.
Does it feel like High School Musical?
I think the stars are aligned because I was listening to that High School Musical soundtrack this morning.
Oh my God, me too.
No, you weren't.
I know.
We're all in this together.
Well, okay. How much was it like High School Musical?
I was trying to find this song that's actually from Hairspray. Hairspray is kind of like High School Musical.
Hairspray.
Shout out to Hairspray. It's a good one.
Isn't Hairspray just like Black High School Musical?
Wow. No,
Well,
it's
it's about-
interracial High School Musical.
Yeah, it's about.
But I went to like a very diverse school. Like I went to a public school.
I didn't, but go on.
But the school I happened to go to was School of the Arts in Rochester. And like you would audition to get in for music. And like I got in as a piano major. So from 7th grade to senior year, I was doing piano lessons there as well.
Okay.
So I was playing piano at the school every single day from 7th grade to 12th grade because I had a class in my schedule every single day.
So outside of those classes, like you're interacting in all your other classes, is there just like heavily musical like overtones to everything? You're walking down the
there's
hall,
musical
people are dancing,
individuals.
like,
Yeah. People could be singing. People could be doing something. Definitely at the lunch tables.
people were getting together and singing
Getting
songs.
down, like rap battles, like all types of shit.
Oh, no, you finally swore. I gotta make a note of that.
Damn!
All right, so they're singing, they're performing in the hallways.
There's just so much going on. There's people writing diss tracks about each other. Like
that was not
there was like hype parties, or like one rapper would be like there performing, or like there's this one guy who still throws DJ parties as the DJ like around Rochester.
See, in where I grew up, I mean, it's small town, small school, not nearly that much cult. There was maybe like 2 or 3 other people in my grade who were like into music like that.
Okay, have you seen Euphoria?
No.
Well, anyone who's seen Euphoria could say it's like Euphoria High School Musical.
Euphoria and a High School Musical together.
It's like everyone gets mad about Euphoria being like so inappropriate.
Wait, is that the thing about the...
But High School Musical is like so appropriate. So we just need them to be more appropriate. Like, no, we don't need anything because uncensored is great. But if you combine them together, that's what my high school experience was like.
Okay.
Like, people had to wear clothes because we were underage. Like, like we were freaking underage.
Is that what's going on in Euphoria? Just
yeah,
naked
lots of
people?
nudes.
Naked people having rap battles in the cafeteria?
Yep. It's better than Game of Thrones slips.
Okay. So you were in high school writing music. Like, were you performing out regularly?
Oh, shout out to Boulders.
Boulders
Coffee.
Boulders
open
Coffee,
mics. It was every Wednesday I would go to this open mic. Every single Wednesday. And I invited my friends every single Wednesday. And I think that's how I lost friends. Because they weren't like singing as much as me, or like writing as much as me, or like practicing as much as me. And like they just, they weren't musicians. The 3 girls I would hang out with, they weren't musicians. So we just didn't have much in common after a while. It was so sad. It's like they were focused on drama, theater tech, and...
But like, wait, theater
whatever.
type of drama or drama?
No,
Both.
like theater. Like, I even auditioned for Hairspray, and they didn't even put me in the chorus.
Well, you're white.
Huh?
I said, well, you're white. No,
well,
I'm
I
just
wanted
kidding.
to be elite.
I don't even know what Hairspray is like really about. I haven't seen it, but I do know that there's like
Good
supposed to be.
morning, Baltimore.
That was beautiful, but
That's
I don't know
song.
the song. But okay, but it's about, there is like a racial element to it. I'm right about
Yeah, there's
that?
this girl who falls in love with this guy,
Romeo.
and they're not the same race.
Yeah. Okay. And I the only reason I bring this up is because I heard about a school near my hometown that did Hairspray as their musical, and it was all white.
Oh.
They did an all white Hairspray.
Well, you know what? I don't know what to say about that, but maybe they had good intentions. Question mark.
Maybe. I have no idea.
It's not like they're gonna invite black people to their suburban school
To be in the musical.
Yeah, no.
That would be complicated, but I
just feel like they wouldn't.
That would be complicated, not.
But like they should.
Yeah.
But also that would be like offensive, kind of. Like, come here just to be in my musical.
If anything, they should invite just performers in. You know, like.
No, they should.
Of different.
They should probably get their little students to get a little better at what they do. So they need experience.
True.
They should have just picked another play.
True. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I think that would have been the best route to go.
They could have just sent Cinderella.
But you auditioned for Hairspray. Were you ever in a musical?
Oh God, no! I was never in a musical. That's probably why I'm so salty all the time. I just wanted to be the center of attention. I just wanted to be as damn.
Well, you went to a big school, and it's a musical school, so I imagine there's a lot of competition. Like, I was in 3 musicals
Of
in high
course
school.
there was competition. People would line up to look at the list of the people who got into the play, and it was like literally 30, 40, 50 people would audition for this play.
Half of them crying on the floor of the hallway.
But like, I had friends who were like so talented, they were always getting a lead.
Yeah.
And it was just like, you would go and see them, and it was like, wow, like they're like honestly like a little rock star.
Well, they're like, that's like their.
But it's like they're a drama major.
Thing. Yeah, like they're they're all in on
it
that.
just like was like the stereotype that the drama majors are always so like, you know, full of drama.
Sounds about right.
And then the music majors are just freaking nerds because all they do is go and practice.
That was me.
That's what they have in common. So you have like the most opposite people uniting.
Are they that opposite?
I guess like more like if you're doing like a direct comparison.
No, I get what you mean.
Like I could be really close with somebody and feel like we have a lot in common, but then someone might be like, oh, well, you have completely different cultural backgrounds. And I'm like, okay, but yeah, so it depends on how you look at it.
All right, well, I can see that, but like, I was the nerdy music guy, but I did 3 musicals in high school. But the only reason that worked out for me.
You did 3 musicals?
Yeah, I was in Monty Python's Holy Grail, The Drowsy Chaperone, and Oklahoma. And I was a B character each time, but the only reason I could do that is because it's a small school. There's not a lot of competition, Gracie.
Wow. Oklahoma.
So you would have been in musicals if you were in a smaller school, but you're
yeah, there was a lot of competition. I would have never got in.
Yeah.
But like I could have been in the chorus, but I think it was because I sucked at dancing. Because you had to dance for the audition, and you had to sing, and then you had to act. Well, my acting was bad. So the only thing I was good at was like maybe singing, but I still feel like I wasn't good at singing back then.
Yeah, I was so bad at singing, and I was
so
told
no wonder
my
they didn't put
dancing
me in
form
there.
was good.
I got to practice piano instead. So.
Yeah.
But I did go to a 3rd music school.
A 3rd one?
Yeah, in like high school. I went to this like band summer camp.
Oh, okay. So
And like you like form a band, or they form the band for you, and then you guys got to write original songs and then perform within 2 weeks. It's like a boot camp for musicians.
Yeah.
Which was cool. Like,
did that help you that much more than regular school? Is it that big of a step up? Because for me,
I think it helped me a lot with songwriting and performing.
I mean, like for me, there was a lot of. We had like great music teachers, but just not a lot of interest from the students. So there really wasn't a lot going on musically, even though it was a good music program.
Mm.
So I didn't really learn. It was hard to learn that much with students at my school. But then I got into like state programs like NSBDA and SEO and all that.
Oh my goodness!
And that is where I
You went to SEO?
learned more. Yeah, I did SEO, Empire State Youth Orchestra Repertory Jazz Ensemble.
Wow.
And I mean, was that even a thing out in Rochester? Because it's New York, but
They have like this Hochstein Orchestra. It's just like a music school, you know.
I've never heard of that. It sounds Native American.
And I don't know whether to like fake laugh or.
Oh, you don't have to. If it's not funny, you don't have to laugh. You know this. You've put up with enough of my crap, my dumb jokes.
If anyone wants to hire me to be in a musical.
See, I would love to do a musical, but I don't have the time.
I don't have the time. I don't have the time. So.
Right. It's like it's such a big time commitment.
I just can't. I don't have the time.
Yeah.
It's like here you got to drive everywhere. So like I can't keep jerking myself around every direction.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. So you went to school for music in high school. You went to college for music. You're putting your songs out now. Like, what do you feel like? What do you feel like your like ultimate solo career goal is? Is it purely about like getting out the art that's truest to you, or do you have like a specific sort of thing you're trying to build?
Just want people to experience it for now.
Yeah.
And like obviously they can't experience it right away because of my own issues, like with releasing stuff and like putting in the time.
Yeah, it's coming out. It's finally coming out now, though. Like it took a while. I'm in the same boat with stuff that I've like tried to write, and I'm even further behind. But like now that it's coming out, is it like do you see yourself just starting to book gigs as like Gracie Lineham in your band?
I don't really have like a sense on booking right now.
Yeah.
That's probably one of my weaknesses.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna book some stuff this summer, but I mean, I feel like having the music out helps so much with that. Like,
yeah, I guess I'm not as worried about anything but completing the work.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like if that comes first,
I have been worrying about the business just because, like, sometimes I worry that once you drop a song, no one ever thinks about it again.
I feel like having the whole album out will help a lot with that. I don't know. There's this whole like new thing in music where the single's the hot thing to do, and I get that. I think that's a great way to start putting out something, but then I feel like it has to culminate in an album because
I want it to culminate. That's the plan.
I feel like the album's like the most complete work. Like it's.
Well, the album is 12 songs and there's 12 months.
Well, that too. I know you have your whole month-to-month concept about it. I'm just saying when you have. When you're releasing single, like I get how people kind of move by that. Like it's one song and it's not really attached to anything.
It's just like some songs are closer to being done than others, and I feel like if I don't give myself a deadline, I'm never gonna do it because of my depression.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, at least focus on one thing at a time. So the timing worked out. You know, my birthday, the first song on the album. Then February, it's like love, right? The whole album's about love. So why not just use the title track? So I still don't know what I'm going to release in March.
Yeah.
But if I can make the goal of finishing the Love Mind song, then I think I could move on to the next. But me and Andrew Lee, he was my songwriting teacher. He's a really great composer and guitar player and engineer, and he actually mixed In the Night.
Shout out Andrew Lee.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. Andrew McKenna Lee, who's in the band The Nels.
Yep. Love that guy.
I think is the composer for The Nels.
So when you're like conceptualizing your album, is there like a specific musical influence that you have? Like, do you look at certain artists and you're like, I love the way they set up their album?
Yeah.
Like who informs kind of that stylistic direction for you?
You mean like the order of the songs?
Well, yeah. Like what other projects have you wanted to kind of like gear certain things after?
I've loved a lot of projects. Definitely Songs in the Key of Life.
One of the greatest albums ever.
Because it's like, that is a love album. Because life is love, you know? Songs in the Key of Life. Songs are love.
I feel like
that's a love song album to me. And I see it as he's talking about how he loves one person, and then he's talking about how he loves the community, the black community. Like, I think it's called Village Ghetto Land, the song he does. So he does like a lot of really inspiring stuff. But I don't think I'm there yet with the first album. But like, as I go deeper into songwriting, I want to like talk about more things, not just love.
Yeah.
But love has been a huge inspiration. Like, I've been dating since I was 15. So I think that definitely has an impact on my psyche. So I need to, get this out, release it, and then see what's next.
Sing about something else.
See what's next.
Like Burger
see what
King.
comes out of me next.
Burger King.
It's kind of like taking like a laxative.
That was gross. But I was saying Burger King, so I kind of pushed it there. All right. Well, palate cleanser for the
I've actually never taken one, so.
Me neither. But I have been dating since I was 15, so.
Wow. Yep.
That's not even like.
How do you think that affects you?
I don't know. If
I think
if I was smoother.
But you had a big break in between relationships.
Yeah.
I feel like I've just been kind of running from one place to the next, and I've had plenty of people say that it's a bad thing about me, and I acknowledge that, but I think I just have a really big heart.
I'm super empathetic.
I feel like I can just love so easily, and it's like, once you feel comfortable, you're comfortable.
Yeah.
But maybe that's another flaw, is like not accepting constant change.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, so is that why you still feel like you need to put the album out? Like, because when you're wrapped up in these relationships back to back, it's hard to like.
You can't really like have a self-awareness yet, because if you've been dating since you were 15, it's like you're always thinking about what someone else thinks. Always thinking about what someone else thinks. At least in some of the relationships, it was like always thinking about how to please this person. Always something, But like, maybe it's time to move on from that. I guess like once you get through the end of the album, it's kind of more like, okay, like this doesn't make sense anymore. I keep coming back to you, but it keeps being so and so much more unhealthy for me. Like, that's the story of the album. It's like being so in love with someone, but like no matter how much you can forgive them and how much they can forgive you, it's like it's not working. Like the sun and the moon will never be together.
Yeah. So the album is kind of about.
It's about two people.
Yeah.
It's about
love.
It's about love, all the different things, like, and then it's about growing from it, like growing for love. That's misunderstood.
That's literally a lyric in the night, isn't it?
Growing for love is misunderstood, right? Like, so you don't understand love, but you're gonna grow so that you can understand it, or to accept that love is always misunderstood, no matter how much you grow.
I would agree with that.
You're growing for it, but it's a continuous growth process forever.
What's the line you have about plants? I hope I don't
blind all the plants that I grow in windows.
What do you mean blind?
That's kind of talking about my depression, how I don't water my plants, but like, or the other side of it, if I'm the sun and I'm growing and I'm just getting stronger, and more powerful. I'm going to be soaking up that vitamin D for that photosynthesis. And then I'm just going to keep growing, you know?
I had to know because I kill my plants when I try to grow
It's
them.
like, it's like also a reincarnation song.
All right, well,
like,
how is it a
let's say-
reincarnation? How many things is the song about, Gracie? We need a whole other hour to break down all these lyrics. But I'm super hyped that the song is out, Gracie.
Thank you.
Do you have any other announcements for the public? Any other shout-outs? Any other
Shout
places
out
online?
to all the inspiration in the universe, whether it be living or not.
Dope. Thank you, Gracie.